last Sunday, where he graced this year's Mlakowa Cultural Festival as patron of the cultural grouping. Apart from attending the cultural festival, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika presided over the swearing-in of Second Vice President Enoch Johana, Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development Rosa Mbelizi, and Minister of Industrialization, Business, Trade and Tourism George Partridge. On Monday, President Mutharika also held an audience with Scottish First Minister John Sweeney at Sanjika Palace in Blantyre as part of cementing long-standing bilateral relations between Malawi and Scotland. Minister of Finance Joseph Mpaka has disclosed that the World Bank has committed to providing Malawi with $45 million to cushion 4 million hunger-stricken Malawians. Mpaka disclosed this during a press briefing in Lilongwe to update the nation regarding the meetings government officials had with the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank recently. Details with Austin Fugola.
Mpaka says apart from the $45 million from the World Bank, the Chinese government has also communicated to support Malawi with a rice worth $3 million for households that do not have food. The minister says the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, will also support Malawi with $3 million on the same cause.
We also engaged other institutions like the African Development Bank. They have also committed that they are going to support us. They are going to give us money for food. But the discussion, we are just finalizing on the figures. But there are also other cooperating partners that I've talked to. The Chinese government has also already communicated to us that they are going to give $3 million for purchase of food, and they'll be buying rice. And that will be delivering that as soon as possible.
On IMF, the finance minister says the organization has committed to help in stabilizing the economy through the extended credit facility. Mpaka has also dismissed claims that there will be devaluation of the local currency after meeting IMF officials.
Our engagement with the IMF does not mean a devaluation, because this administration believes that a devaluation is not a panacea. Neither is it a solution for addressing the issue of shortage of foreign exchange. We believe that there are other demand and supply measures that can be applied in order to address the gap between the official and the parallel. That's what we are pursuing.
Meanwhile, Mpaka says the country's debt has risen to 21.6 trillion kwacha this year from 4.1 trillion kwacha in 2020, which he says is not sustainable. He has disclosed that government will therefore announce measures to cut expenditure to arrest the situation. Austin Fukula, MBC News, Lilongwe.
In a related development, government will continue supporting smallholder farmers for improved agricultural productivity. Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development, Rosa Mbelizi, was speaking at Kalumbu Primary School in the area of Senior Chief Kalumbu during the official launch of the Farm Inputs Distribution under the Lilongwe City Council's Resources Mobilization Initiative through the District Agriculture Extension Coordinating Committee. Maeso Shikatola reports.
Realizing that low agricultural production remains a great challenge for smallholder farming communities across the country, farmers in Lilongwe decided to join hands in mobilizing the resources for increased production. It is against this background that the farmers mobilized farm inputs worth 7.1 billion kwacha that are reliable, thereby avoiding fake and counterfeit farm inputs on the market. In her remarks after touring pavilions mounted by various stakeholders who include One Acre Fund, agro-dealers, fertilizer companies, and financial institutions, Mbelizi said it is encouraging that the smallholder farmers noted the gap in their farming activities and managed to buy their own inputs. She assured the farmers of government support to make Malawi a food-secure nation through extension workers, and has since urged the seed companies to give back to customers through fair pricing. Mbelizi also said the government will soon roll out the affordable input program across the country in a different way.
We will distribute AIP, but we'll do it differently to make sure that all the hurdles that we had don't exist, including the procurement. It has to be done properly. Farmers have come together and they're buying this fertilizer in bulk as a cooperative. Of course, they pay per month or something like that, but at the end of the day, they're buying a lot from these companies. So when they're selling the fertilizer, they can't sell them at a retail price. They should sell them at a wholesale price, to appreciate the fact that at least they are saving. They are not advertising. Farmers have done their part. They're buying all the inputs they need per acre. So there's no reason why the tonnage should be small. And now that's our job.
1 Acre Fund Government Relations Manager Love Mtsitsi said as one of the key stakeholders will continue complementing government efforts in supporting the farmers with new farming methods so that they realize high yields. He said 1 Acre Fund will continue to work with various stakeholders in supporting the smallholder farmers in the country.
Commitment and our message is very clear. We put farmers first in whatever we do at 1 Acre Fund. And just like this year, we commit to support the government with different activities that we do. First and foremost, distributing agriculture inputs to farmers on credit, which they pay little by little for a period of not less than 10 months, but also supporting the government in activities of restoring the environment and also taking care of the soils to ensure that our farmers are benefiting from their agricultural activities.
The journey of resource mobilization among smallholder farmers in Lilongwe began in 2009, benefiting over 40,000 farmers and is expected to be rolled out to other districts. This year's initiative is being held under the theme Rekindling Self-Reliance Towards Food Security and Economic Empowerment. Maestro Chikadzula, MBC News, Lilongwe.
The new European Union EU Ambassador to Malawi, Daniel Aristi, has pledged to deepen and strengthen the long-standing partnership between the EU and Malawi, which will mark its 50th anniversary next year. Speaking in Lilongwe during his introductory interaction with journalists, Ambassador Aristi said his immediate focus is to build on existing cooperation with the Malawian government across key sectors including energy, education, transport and job creation. Miriam Kariza has a report.
At the meeting, the ambassador disclosed that the EU has invested over £400 million in Malawi's energy sector to boost access to affordable and sustainable electricity, and more than £100 million in initiatives supporting small businesses, particularly those run by women entrepreneurs. Turning to Malawi's economic challenges, Aristi expressed optimism over the government's renewed engagement with the international institutions like the International Monetary Fund, IMF, describing it as a very good move towards restoring economic stability. Aristi also commended Malawians for the peaceful and orderly elections held on 16 September, noting that the EU Election Observation Mission deployed 110 observers who rated the process highly. The ambassador further underscored the importance of media freedom and engagement, describing journalists as vital partners in strengthening democratic governance and accountability.
Well, I think first of all, I will really try my absolute best to continue developing and deepening the very, very good partnership that already exists between the European Union and Malawi. Next year, for example, in 2026, we're going to celebrate the 50th anniversary of this partnership between the Union and Malawi. We are thinking already about how to mark that event. And in any case, we have quite very many actions and projects and programs. We are working together with the Malawi government in many sectors: energy, road transportation, education, job creation. So we have quite a lot of projects launched. We will be having more next year, so there is plenty to keep us busy. Me personally, relationship with the media is very, very, very important. I think the role of the media in every society, in any society, is incredibly important. So it's always a pleasure for me to engage with you, with journalists, and I'm really looking forward to doing that more often.
Meanwhile, Mr. Malawi Chairperson Gordon Marunga hailed the interaction as a positive step toward strengthening ties between the media and development partners.
The EU is one of the crucial stakeholders when it comes to media in Malawi. We have been supporting media development for a long time, supporting excellence in journalism, supporting media awards, but also training of journalists. So we do believe that through these engagements, we can be able to map up solutions to challenges that the media is facing. But also the EU as a stakeholder has a message they want to communicate from time to time. Journalists are not jacks of our trade. We interact with various segments of a society, but we need to understand those segments of society. They need to explain to us what message they want to share with the public. As a medium, we need to then understand how we can share that message to our audiences. So it's very important that development partners like EU should be able to explain what are their programs for the country, and we should be able to translate that message to the local population. So this message, this meeting rather, is a very important engagement when it comes to our relationship with the EU.
Ambassador Aristi replaces Ron Skinipatch, whose tenure ended earlier this year. Miriam Kaliza, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Malawi Defence Force MDF Chief General George Alexander Chafu Jr. has called for enhanced coordination among the country's security agencies as a way of safeguarding Malawi from both internal and external threats. General Chafu Jr. made the remarks in Lilongwe during the handover and takeover ceremony of the Sword of Command at Kamuzu Barracks. Charles Wahara reports.
In an interview with MBC following the event, the new Malawi Defence Force MDF Chief, General George Alexander Chafu Jr. said modern military trends demand coordination with other security agencies to eliminate common threats, which include natural disasters and cyber attacks. General Chafu Jr. said the MDF remains a tool of national unity and pride, hence the need to work closely with other institutions in safeguarding peace and security.
Actually, what I meant was, as national unity, we need to work together, especially all the security agents. We've got the Malawi Police, we've got the Immigration Department, and also National Intelligence Services. We want to work together so that we achieve a common goal. You see, I think previously we were working in isolation. The Malawi Police Service would be doing their own thing, and us would be doing one thing. But I want to bring these organizations together so that we can work together for the benefit of national security of this country. We have always helped national disasters, and I mentioned that we need to continue that, but also we need to train our people. Our people should be trained. You know, the war is changing these days. It's not boots on the ground anymore. There are drones, there are what. So we need to train our soldiers so that they are in sync of what is going on around the world. So we are going to encourage training of our soldiers in various aspects of technology so that they are abreast of what is happening in this country.
During the ceremony, former MDF Chief General Paul Valentino Piri handed over the Sword of Command to General Chafu Jr., symbolizing the official transfer of leadership. General Paul Valentino, retired, was ceremoniously pulled out in a military tradition, marking the end of his reign. On October 5, President Professor Thabita Mutharika appointed the then Lieutenant General George Alexander Chafu Jr. as Chief of Defence Forces, relieving General Paul Valentino Piri of his duties. President Mutharika officially elevated and decorated the general. Charles Wahara, MBC News, Lilongwe.
You're watching MBC News and you are with me, Evelis Chingambi. A reminder of our top stories. President Mutharika is in Mangochi after undertaking a number of official engagements in the south. World Bank commits to providing Malawi with $45 million to cushion hunger-stricken Malawians. And in our special report this week, MBC exposes a company in Lilongwe which is using expired food flavors in one of its products. Welcome back. Police in Zinthu have arrested 4 people, including family members, in connection with the murder of 67-year-old Gerald Chira, a motorcycle operator who went missing in September this year. The suspects were arrested on Thursday at Sonda in Zinthu. Elias Mahango has filed us this report, being read by Blessings Kondwe.
According to the Deputy Public Relations Officer from Zinthu Police, Cecilia Mfune, family disputes over land and marital issues led the suspects to conspire and Kiru Chirwa, who was strangled and dumped in Kaningina forest.
We received a report of a missing person that was in September 2025. So as police, we are conducting an investigation according to the missing person. And yesterday, that was when we found out that that person was killed and his body was dumped here in Kaningina forest. So we arrested 4 suspects. Among the suspects are his family members.
Traditional authority Tula, in whose area the body of the late Gerard Chirwa was discovered, expressed deep disappointment over the brutal murder. She described the incident as heartbreaking and shameful, especially because it involves close family members.
I'm deeply disappointed as a woman because of what has happened here. I want to appeal to my fellow women that we should not behave like this.
All 4 suspects have confessed to the crime and will appear in court soon to answer charges related to the murder.
In this week's special report, our reporter Olive Perry exposes how a company in Lilongwe is using expired food flavors in popular carbonated soft drinks, which health authorities say poses serious health risks to consumers. Embassy has established that ZAM Investments in Lilongwe has been using the expired food flavors to manufacture the drink.
People buy drinks to satisfy their cravings, to enjoy the taste and its sweetness. This may not be the case for some of the drinks, as they may turn out to be health risks to consumers. This may be due to raw materials which are made from expired food flavors. This is a carbonated soft drink called coffees that many say they love. On 23rd August this year, the Malawi Bureau of Standards, MBS, caught the manufacturer of this drink in Lilongwe, ZAM Investments, with 583 kegs of expired food flavors, approximately 11,660 liters. The company was making coffees and Venom energy drinks using these expired flavors. It's not yet in November. The incident happened in August 2025, but on the kegs of the food flavors, there are stickers showing that the food additives package date is 8th November 2025 and best before date of 9th November 2026. The original stickers on these 20-liter containers in which the food flavors for coffee drinks were packed were removed. These are the new stickers that authorities say ZAM Investment has been printing, replacing the originals because their expiry dates are around the corner. For some of these raw materials, they expired back in 2023. Rafael Mpingo is Senior Certification Officer for the Malawi Bureau of Standards.
As part of our routine inspections that we do, so we came here this morning and we found out that the ZAM Investments Limited, which is here, they were changing data codes of their raw materials that are used to manufacture soft drinks. So we have confiscated the raw materials, but also shut down the company.
Spot checks in different places in Lilongwe have confirmed that many people love coffees. Charles Kandoje from Kawale in Lilongwe is among those who enjoy the drink.
I like this drink, coffees. There's this flavor, creamy, lemon and mango and coconut. These are my favorite. When I'm after having lunch, I quench with these drinks.
Kandoje, however, has expressed some fears upon hearing that ZAM Investments was manufacturing the drink using expired food flavors.
When I read from social media that this company has been temporarily closed because they were using these expired raw materials, something hit my soul. But what about my health now? Because I've been consuming it for quite some time.
Sodium benzoate, potassium sorbate, colorants, sugar, citric acid, carbonic acid and flavoring water are the ingredients that the company uses to manufacture coffee drinks. An analysis of some of these ingredients and components of the expired food flavors by Associate Professor of Food Technology in the Department of Physics and Biochemical Science at Melbus, Dr. Moses Chamba, shows that using the expired food flavors to produce the drinks is dangerous to human health. According to Dr. Chamba, once the expired food flavors are mixed with some of these ingredients, they do react and form, among others, benzene, a well-known carcinogen that causes blood cancer and sometimes causes diseases associated with food poisoning.
When someone is eating the food that contains benzene, over time, the benzene accumulates in the body. Benzene is one of the most high-ranked carcinogenic in human beings. Benzene causes cancer in human beings. So we may be surprised as to why there are so many cancer problems in the country. This is the cancer of the blood.
Currently, statistics from the Ministry of Health show that cases of food poisoning and blood cancer, which is commonly known as leukemia, as recorded in the country's central hospitals since 2022, are on the rise. Adrian Chigumbe is the spokesperson for the Ministry of Health.
We registered a total of 98 cases of food poisoning in 2022, 1,536 in 2023, 5,210 in 2024, and 2,827 in 2025. For blood cancer, we registered 184 cases in 2022, 56 in 2023, 86 in 2024, and 258 in 2025.
Commenting on the development, Executive Director for Malawi Health Equity Network, Mehin Jojobe, called on local authorities to continue partnering with the Standards Bureau in monitoring production facilities and urged consumers to report any suspicious products or expiry date alterations.
Malawi Bureau of Standards, in our understanding, cannot be everywhere, but it depends on reports from the general public, and then they can come and act.
Meanwhile, the Malawi Bureau of Standards, in collaboration with Lilongwe City Council, has disposed the expired food flavors confiscated from Zamu Investments. The Bureau has emphasized the need for the enhancement of quality control systems to deal with the issue of using expired raw materials. The Bureau has also been enlightening the production sector on the legal consequences of using expired raw materials to manufacture food or drinks. Olive Piri, MPC News, Lilongwe.
Malawi Revenue Authority (MRA) has rolled out an air surveillance system along the borderline in its fight against smuggling. This follows the completion of preparatory works such as training of personnel, aviation documentation and clearance, as well as community sensitization. Erlene Chimoyo reports.
The authority has introduced the sky surveillance system to patrol areas which are prone to being used as uncharted routes for cargo smugglers. The tax authority has on several occasions lamented over the billions Malawi is losing to smuggling, and its unscrupulous cross-border traders continue to use uncharted routes to evade tax and duty on a variety of imported goods. For instance, as of 2024, the authority had intercepted smuggled goods worth over 4 billion kwacha. Speaking to MBC, MRA's manager responsible for drone and cargo tracking, Charles Jatta, said the coming in of the system gives them power to cartel import tax evasion and other syndicates in the goods smuggling chain.
Moved in about 4 phases of the project, and as of now we are in the 4th phase of the project, where we're supposed to finalize with sensitization of the public and equally of our members of staff about what this project is all about, so that we have the community buy-in and equally buy-in of our staff. Well, smuggling is quite big in Malawi. Smuggling comes in many forms, where goods are going out through uncharted routes or coming in through uncharted routes. The impact of this all is on our economy, where we don't have proper statistics of how much really we are exporting and how much we're importing. Cigarettes, these are high dutiable goods, whereby if one container just simply passes through, we've lost well over 45 million for just one consignment. So look at several of those consignments, how much will that be over a period? So the impact is huge. But with the drones, we want to cut down on that and probably arrest it all together.
The project was initially set to roll out last year but delayed due to some procurement processes. Meanwhile, the authority has trained 21 personnel in the operation of drones. With the drones and another cargo tracking system, the authority is optimistic of saving billions that are lost to smuggling. Edin Chimoyo, MBC News, Blantyre.
And now in sports, FCB Nyasa Big Bullets and Mighty Wanderers have beefed up security ahead of the TNM Super League meeting tomorrow. The match will be played at Kamuzu Stadium in Blantyre in the second round of the elite competition. Bullets commercial manager Kelvin Moyo has told NBC that they are working hand in hand with their rivals and have hired more security personnel to create a safe environment for the fans. Moyo has also disclosed that they are expecting to raise over 150 million kwacha from the match.
Security will be very much enhanced on this particular day. We've got a good number of police officers, a good number of stewards that will work in the perimeters of the stadium. We've got a good number of private security officers to assist the police and the stewards on this particular day. So in terms of security, the security will be so tight and very tight. And we urge fans and spectators to come with their families. It will be a good family day, so they shouldn't get worried in terms of security. But we're also urging fans that they should be on the lookout. Everybody should look after the other. We don't want the glass bottles in the stadium because these can be used as a weapon. If you can afford, buy disposable bottles, disposable cups or bottles, the plastic ones, those ones will be allowed into the stadium. So tickets will be removed from the market on Saturday, the 25th at 7 o'clock in the evening.
And that's it from our newsroom this morning. A recap of our top stories before we leave. President Mutharika is in Mangochi after undertaking a number of official engagements in the south. World Bank commits to providing Malawi with $45 million to cushion hunger-stricken Malawians. And in our special report this week, MBC exposes a company in the Longwe which is using expired food flavors in one of its products. For more updates, scan the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You have been with me, Eveles Chingambe. Thanks for watching and good morning.
Good morning and welcome. It's time for weather update. We should expect occasionally windy and hazy conditions over